Okay, so many foreigners come here to Brazil to travel and see a lot of poor communities that we call here favelas. And in the other side, they see a lot of high luxury condominiums, luxury cars, a lot of richness here. And a foreigner does not understand deeply about this. He sees some statistics and that's it. And in this video, I invite you to get a next level understanding about here Brazil, because I'm a native here. I spent my last 37 years living here and I have a lot of experience here about Brazil, and I pretty can explain here a little bit deeper about if Brazil, not only statistics, okay, but if Brazil is really poor or a medium country or rich country, and who are the rich here in Brazil, who are the poor, what dynamics happen here in Brazil that makes people not grow as they could, okay? Let's discuss a lot about this here in Brazil, here about Brazil, okay? So stay with me until the end of this video, okay? I'm sure it's worth, and you give you a understanding very similar to a native, okay? So first of all, let's mention here some statistics, okay, for overall understanding. The median income here in Brazil is 3,187 reais. That is approximately $531 per month, okay? This is the median income, okay? Well, this kind of money would not be so low to live here in Brazil. Many of my videos I record here, I talk about living a very comfortable life with $1,000 per month, which is approximately 6,000 reais per month, which is a nice amount to live comfortable in our terms here, okay? Because obviously if you live in a rich country like USA, you are used to another whole level of comfort, okay? I'm talking about our reality here. As I've never lived out in the foreign, I cannot say, okay? But here in Brazil, with $1,000 per month, $1,200 per month, you can have pretty much everything, like rent, food, health, private health of high quality, some leisure, okay? Whatever. And this value, $531 per month, could be not so bad, but the situation is a little bit different from that, okay? Actually, this income is much lower than that, okay? Let me explain you. According to statistics, 10% of the richest Brazilians, the top 10%, they make like $7,580 per month, which is approximately $1,200 per month, okay? So let's repeat here. The 10%, the richer 10% makes only $1,200 per month, okay? Which is not high, okay? This kind of money is enough to have a comfortable life, let me say like this, but it's not so, let me say, it's not rich, okay? It's not rich. Very far from that. And the 40% poorer here in Brazil makes per month 527 reais per month, approximately $87 per month, okay? So you see there is a lot of inequality here. The 10% richer make $1,200 per month. The 40% poorer makes $87 per month. Look this huge difference, okay, in the income. So Brazil is like this. There is a huge gap between incomes, okay, which we call inequality, okay? If you go to Europe, you see like a person makes like 2,000 euros per month, and the rich guy, the high income guy makes like 5,000 euros per month, let me say like this, 6,000 euros per month. No, here in Brazil, the difference is absurd. It's huge. There are some people here in the public sector that makes like 100,000 reais per month, 50,000. Okay, this is a small minority, okay, of the public service, because the huge mass of the public servants makes like this, $1,000 per month. Okay, but there is a small part of. Now we are entering to understand who are the top 1% income here in Brazil. Okay, who are these rich in Brazil? And that's it. There is a small minority of the public servants that make like 100,000 reais per month, like something like $20,000 per month. And there is people living with $100 per month, okay? So look to this gap. Okay, this guy that makes $20,000 per month, he's not an entrepreneur, okay? He doesn't have a company, business, as it's normal we see in developed countries like USA, Europe. You see people that makes absurdly a lot of money. Generally, they are entrepreneurs, okay? No, here in Brazil, there is this small percentage of public servants, like 1%, top 1% that make like 50,000 reais, 100,000 reais per month. And all the rest of population, like 80%, 90% of population, 95, 96% of the public servants, all the rest of the society making like 10, 20 times less. Okay, so who are the rich here in Brazil? The first part I've just explained, a small percentage of the public servants. Okay, and who are the other riches here in Brazil? The entrepreneurs. Okay. Yes, obviously here is still being a capitalism. Okay, obviously it's not a free market like we have in USA, that you can hire and fire at will. There is no labor laws, almost no labor laws when compared. Here in Brazil, there is too much regulation in the labor market. Okay, it's totally different. You cannot like make a contract, a free contract with your employee, like you work only 20 hours a week or 10 hours a week, things like that. No, there is a whole lot of regulations, and now we are entering in the topic why there is so much people making low money here in Brazil. Why people in the poor zone doesn't get to the rich zone? Okay, because here in Brazil it's not that the rich take from the poor. What happens here is that there is something that is preventing the poor to get to the next level financially. And what happens here? One thing is this extremely high regulation in the labor market. Okay, and what this makes, this is not new. Okay, this is not something created yesterday. It's a thing that was created in the 40s. Okay, it's almost 100 years in the Getúlio Vargas government. Very old. Okay, Brazil is like this. It's something that never changes. Okay, Brazil never really changed the system here to be like a free market, a liberalism, an open market. Okay, never in the history of the last 100 years is basically the same thing. It's a very stable and static system. Okay, which makes things be very predictable here in Brazil, like the unemployment rates, the inflation, everything is linked to this regulation. One of the key factors is these high regulations in the labor market. Okay, it's one of the key factors, and this prevents companies of hiring a lot of people. If the companies are not hiring a lot of people, and because of these regulations, not only in the labor market but in the companies are high, this disincentivizes people to open new business. So we have fewer and fewer jobs, and a whole mass of people just unemployed looking for jobs, and they never can find a job even to make a minimum wage that is 1,400 reais per month, which is like $200 per month. Okay, the minimum wage is like $200-300 per month. Okay, so what there is because of this regulation, we have very few companies here in proportion to the size of the population. Okay, there is too much people for few jobs, and this inequality makes people go to the informality. Okay, people here, a lot of them works in informality. Just some statistics here. The informality rates here in Brazil are 39% approximately, according to research, and the informality rate in USA is 10 to 15%. Okay, and why the informality rates here are high? Because people cannot find decent jobs because of there are few jobs. Okay, so these big companies here, they explore a very cheap labor workforce, let me say like that. They have a lot of options because there is a lot of unemployed people here. Okay, and they can choose at will. Okay, it's not so hard for, let me say, a supermarket. That's why we see a lot of supermarkets here. All the companies we see here, at least in my city, if we stop and look, pay very close attention to these kind of companies, are generally very high companies. Okay, very high supermarkets, very high pharmacies, franchise. Okay, because these kinds of big companies, they have a lot of like lawyers and employees to deal with the regulations, and they have a whole lot of unemployed people to choose. They have a lot of process of hiring, so they get benefit with these unemployed rates. With this lot of options and this lot of scarcity, they can get easy access to very cheap labor. And in the end of the day, this system prejudices a lot the poor and benefits a lot the big companies. Okay, so what I observe in Brazil is, with the pass of the years since I was born here, there is a constant the distance between these rich I mentioned, the big companies, and this small percentage of public service is getting far and far away, even more. Okay, and year after year, the government is constantly creating new regulations in the labor workforce, as I have the impression that the government wants people even more poor. Okay, so there are some problems here in Brazil that prejudice the poor. Okay, first of all, we have no free market here in Brazil. Okay, the import taxes here are too high. Okay, so if a poor wants buy a car, he will pay like 40 to 50% in a car, which is very high. It makes a car very inaccessible to the poor and make poor even more poor. And the rich, they can afford this kind of tax. This doesn't impact directly the rich. We have here in Brazil high consumer tax. Okay, if you come here to Brazil and we'll go to a supermarket, buy food, you find very cheap because you make money in dollars. But for Brazilians, food is not cheap, and food is essential for the poor. And what we have here in Brazil, high tax on food. Okay, so the poor pays a lot of taxes here in Brazil because it's in the products. The consumer tax, not the income tax. The income tax is high too. Okay, in Brazil we have 27.5% of income tax. Okay, which is not low, and additionally we have 30 to 40% tax in the product. Okay, so that's very unfair to the poor. Okay, and another thing that prejudices a lot the poor here, that makes people really poor, is the high interest rates here that we call Selic tax. Okay, the government is always doing bad things managing badly the public money, okay? He's always making like this, try giving like European welfare state without being rich, okay? Because Brazilians here want welfare state, but Brazil, it's like you want to distribute wealth before having the wealth, okay? It's not like this, okay? So the government is always doing this kind of thing, which makes the currency being constantly depreciated, and the currency is constantly being depreciated, and the interest rates have to rise constantly. And this high tax interest rates makes the credit more scarce to the poor, okay? So here in Brazil, in general, as I said, we have average income that is low, very low, as you can see in this video, and there is a huge system that prevents the poor to getting higher here in Brazil. So basically that's what happened here. I hope this give you a better understanding of what happens here in Brazil. In my opinion, very sincere, I don't see any possibility of this changing anytime soon, okay? Talking with people, seeing what they think about all these things that I mentioned here, they don't care about nothing of this. Okay, so well, just the objective here is just to understand better how Brazil works. Okay, I'm not saying that money is everything, but money helps in the quality of life. Don't you agree? So put the like, don't forget like and subscribe this video. And I created a group here, a Facebook group recently, to connect for foreigners that are living here in Fortaleza, that is my city. Just connect in the Facebook and let's get in touch. See you, bye bye.